ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतः नः शृण्वन्नोतिभिश्रीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं च शनीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम् ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीव चक्षुरा ततम्। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः। ॐ हरे रामकृष्ण हरे रामकृष्ण हरे रामकृष्ण। ॐ पराशराय नमः। ॐ पराशराय नमः। ॐ पराशराय नमः। ॐ घृणिसूर्यः आदित्यः ॐ घृणिसूर्यः आदित्यः ॐ घृणिसूर्यः आदित्यः ॐ। Welcome back.
We saw the email.
Yeah, I hope everybody saw the email because I sent it to SPJC also. For the last few months, I've been comparing examples, etc. So, what I wanted to do before we continue the class is set the settings back to Jagannath Hainamsha. You can go to preferences related to calculations and set calculation options as recommended by author in brackets Druk Siddhanta. If you do that, that will mostly take care of it. The other one will be in the Dasha, Nishatri Dasha, changing the year to solar years, but that I don't think that's covered by this default.
Quick question.
Yes.
What is the, just to recap, what is the difference between restore default calculations and the recommended by author? What is the difference between the two?
Recommended by author is basically Surya Siddhanta based settings.
Okay.
And in brackets Druk Siddhanta is Druk Siddhanta based. Basically, I had some recommendations before I switched to Surya Siddhanta. Whatever recommendations I had, for example, for the sunrise, for the nodes, for Upagrahas, etc., whatever recommendations I had based on all the researches in Druk Siddhanta until that point, they are recommended by author Druk Siddhanta. And after switching to Surya Siddhanta, whatever I was using with Surya Siddhanta, there were a couple of differences. For example, in Nishatri Dasha, we were using 363 years, as suggested by Ganesha, and a couple of other differences. So those were, and of course the Siddhanta and the Ainamsa difference. Those are in the other. Now this will be consolidated. In the next series, the default without Siddhanta in brackets. Actually, I don't think I want to recommend any settings for Surya Siddhanta. I'll basically have Ganesha has recommended Surya Siddhanta settings and then my recommended Siddhanta settings, and there will be the standard default, the default calculation options, which are basically legacy options from Sanjay ji. So there will be just 3 instead of 4.
So the Druk Siddhanta, this one contains the calculation of the options are what are different?
The options, if you take Druk Siddhanta, the options that are different will be Siddhanta will be Druk Siddhanta instead of Surya Siddhanta. Then Ainamsa will be Jagannath Hainamsa instead of Lahiri or Surya Siddhanta Ainamsa. And then
I am comparing to the restore default calculation options to recommended by you with this.
That's what I am saying. Between those two options, the main difference is Siddhanta being Surya Siddhanta versus Druk Siddhanta, and Ainamsa being Jagannath Hainamsa versus Surya Siddhanta Ainamsa.
Restore default is Sanjayji's, right?
Oh, you are saying restore default calculation options. That is basically those were defaults for a long time. So I didn't want to change the default behavior in every release. See, my opinions may change. I may suddenly say, okay, not 360 degree years, use Savana years, or use this, use that.
That's what I'm asking.
That is why there is an author's recommended settings which keep evolving. So people who want to follow Narasimha, they can use those settings. And the default calculation options are basically, they don't change unless there is a big reason basically. They tend to be stable over a long period of time. Whereas my recommendations may change drastically. And during the last 1 year, I had 2 set of recommended options because I had my lexicon both the Surya Siddhanta, and also at the back of my mind, I still hadn't completely given up on the Druk Siddhanta. I was basically experimenting with both. So I had both the options in Jagannathwara software. But now that I have made up my mind, I will get rid of one of them basically. Whatever is called Druk Siddhanta will be author's recommendation. The other one will simply go away. But I will keep Vinay Jha's recommended options for those who want to use Surya Siddhanta, because there are some differences. For example, the other thing is, actually, if you use Druk Siddhanta author recommended, the house may be it may choose the ascendant as the start of the first house, but now I do use ascendant as the middle of the first house instead of start of the first house. So basically, I will clean this up for the next day so that it reflects exactly what I use. But if you do this, mostly this should be what we use now.
And change the Vimsotari Dasha.
Yeah, go to Dashas, Vimsotari Dasha. Definition of year in Dashas.
It is 5 to beta, so is there a change?
Yeah, that is what I'm using a slightly later one, but pretty much same. So definition of years in Dashas, go to Vimsotari or any Dasha basically. Click on definition of years in Dashas and solar longitude based year. We will go back to the 360 degree years. Basically consistent across.
Right click, no, go to Dashas.
Go to any Dasha. Get any Dasha on the screen and select definition of year in Dashas. Okay. And select solar longitude based year in brackets 360 degree years. This is what we were using earlier. Now, in the last 1 year,
option menu, where do you select the?
In the context menu of that window. Did you get it? Definition of years in Dashas.
Okay.
Select solar longitude based year and say all. In the combo box, you see the current Dasha, all Dashas, all Nakshatra Dashas. Basically, select all Dashas. So, earlier we were using the solar year for Charadasha, certain Dashas, Charadasha and Rati Dashas. But for the Nakshatra Dashas, we were using 363 years. Now we will consistently use solar years for all Dashas basically.
Solar longitude based year 360.
Solar longitude based years, 360 degree years. So select all Dashas, then that will take care of it. And just save the settings just in case. Save preferences, save preferences. If you close it, it will save. But the thing is, if you reopen another window, another Jehora, and then close this first and close the other one first, the old one may be saved. So if you say save, it will be saved. Now, we will start with some examples. Do you have any examples we can see? So the differences compared to what we were doing earlier is, we will basically do whatever we were doing earlier. We will use, Vimsotari Dasha we will use.
To the 1 year back.
Yeah, basically if you missed all the classes in the last 1 year, you didn't really miss anything. There are just a few changes. This is basically like undoing a lot of things. But the thing is, we will take a few ideas from this. One is using we were referring to the aspect table to see the aspects, right? That we will continue to do. And the definition of the aspects was cleaned up based on Parasara's definition as clarified by Vinay. I did make a mistake in interpreting Parasara's verses. So that basically I will go with whatever understanding we have currently, not the 1 year old understanding. So aspects are basically Parasara's aspects. And what else? The house. We were taking the ascendant as the beginning of the first house. Ascendant are any reference basically. We were taking the reference as the beginning of the house. 30 degrees from the reference was the first house. And and that was based on misinterpretation of Parasara's verses on aspects. So based on the correct understanding of Parasara's verses on aspects, basically it makes sense to take the ascendant as the middle of the first house instead of the start of the first house. And that also resolves the riddle of what do you mean by two planets being in Shastashtaka, basically one in the 6th house and the other being in the 8th house. With the earlier interpretation, if one is in the 6th, the other may be in the 7th. Or if one is in the 8th, the other may be in the 7th. Basically they are very unlikely to be exact 6 8 unless they are exactly at the same longitude. So that really is resolved. So bottom line is, we go back 1 year, but we use the ascendant as the middle of the first house. 15 degree on either side will be the first house. And aspects are found accordingly. And that actually agrees with the formulas given by Parasara. And for that we will just use the quantification in the aspect table. And the other thing is, though I haven't fully made up my mind on this yet, we will also, apart from Vimsotari Dasha of the Rashi chart, we'll also experiment with the Vimshatri Dasha of the divisional charts, because that seems to be actually okay even with Druk Siddhanta. So Vimshatri Dasha of the divisional charts, but the other conditional dashas will go easy on them. We'll basically use those conditional dashas in Rashi chart, but not in the divisional charts. Because the thing is, once you say the beginning of the middle, first half, second half of the sign, the thing is, the divisional Lagna itself is so sensitive, so it's very easy to manipulate it to either be one or the other, first half or the second half, and then find that okay, if I do this, this dasha applies, if I do that, that dasha applies. So it's easy to manipulate and make multiple dashas be applicable, and then pick the one that actually makes some sense. So it basically, we are putting so many degrees of freedom that it's very easy to delude ourselves that something is actually making sense. So we'll just stick to Vimshatri and Vimshatri of the divisional charts. And the other thing is, even though Sudarshan Chakra is useful, Ravi, Chandra, Lagna, all are useful references, the bottom line is we'll give more importance to the Lagna instead of looking at all of them. Because the way we were doing in the last few months, if you take all the references and try to find something common, again it's very easy to, the things are not so crisp then. You can justify so many things when you are looking at all the references, and you are looking at aspect, when you are looking at the last shape, etc. So the thing is, Sudarshan Chakra Dasha itself is still useful, but I don't believe we have a foolproof way of using Sudarshan Chakra Dasha yet, so we'll go easy on the Sudarshan Chakra Dasha. Because if you see the kind of analysis we did, the ninth house is prominent. The thing is, it's very easy to make any house prominent. So we'll go easy on that. So we'll basically go back one year back.
Argalas are back?
Oh yeah, Argalas, Rashi aspect, Grahadrishti, everything is back. Rashi and Arudas are back. Graha, because Arudas are back. The thing is, Graha Arudas as well as Bhava Arudas, especially Bhava Arudas, and we will use them in the divisional chart also. Oh, that's not covered by the default. Go to preferences related to calculations, Arudhapada calculation options. Arudhapada calculation options, okay?
Fourth one from bottom.
Preferences related to calculations, Arudhapada calculation options. Okay? So use exceptions in Bhava Arudhapadas, use exceptions in Graha Arudhapadas, those will be probably already selected correctly. Use Rahu and Ketu when stronger is also probably already selected. The next one is find Arudhapadas of houses using exact longitudes. So instead of finding sign-based Arudhapadas, using the exact longitude and finding the distance. So we will continue to do that. That is probably already checked. But the other one is use divisional longitudes of planets. Uncheck that. It is already unchecked. Okay, good. Good. So bottom line is, what we do is we use the physical for the Charakarakas and the Arudhapadas. We use the physical longitudes. We don't use the divisional longitudes. We use physically. This is where the Lagna is, or this is where the fifth house is. Fifth lord is at 105 degrees from it. So 105 degrees from it, we take the Arudhapada of the fifth house. So A5 is exactly at longitude. So it is a longitude, it's not a sign. And once you find the longitude, you find the divisional chart positions. Based on where that longitude is, you find where it should be in Navamsa, where it should be in Dashamsa, just like for the planets. And the thing is, some of the most interesting researches of the last 10 years have been the correlations between transit planets and some natal positions. And for example, stationary transit and the Padamsa and the Vimshatri Dasha progression. These three researchers were out of all the researchers I have done. The thing is, when it comes to conditional dashas or Vimshatri or Charadasha, they are subjective. Basically, to say that fifth house is being aspected by the dasha sign, so it can give a child. This kind of analysis is very easy to justify if you are really smart and the people who are listening to you are not as fast as you can basically play fast one on them. I mean, I don't just mean you, anybody basically, people on the list. The bottom line is, if you are quick on your feet, you can basically justify anything, quite honestly. And I was doing partly I was doing that. I will continue to do that also. I'm a very fast person. I'm a work-out-rising person. I will continue to do that. But the thing is, these things are not really helpful, subjective things. You need something, if there is an objective correlation, like for example, if you look at the articles on my website, Padamsa and the Vimshatri progression and the stationary transition. Things are like the A5 in D7 is at, let's say, 22 degree Aquarius, and at the time of the 22.5 degree Aquarius, at the time of the childbirth, the Vata Lord was at 22 degree 17 minutes Aquarius. Like that, basically. Within a degree or 2 degrees, either the Dasa Lord or a planet who's the fifth Lord in the natal Dasamsha, or the Lagna Lord in natal Dasamsha, somebody who's very important in the natal divisional chart, was actually transferring very close to that Pada, the divisional chart portion of the Pada. Like that, this is the definition that allowed some really objective correlations over many examples, over hundreds of examples. So, Nishotridasha progression, Padamsha correlation, and the stationary transfer. These are the three most objective researches that I have ever come up with. So I think it's based on that. I feel very comfortable with this definition rather than using the divisional longitudes themselves and then finding the Arudpadas of planets. So we'll use them based on the physical positions. So we'll use the Arudpadas and Graha Arudhas again. I'm not fully convinced by them because the thing is I don't have any objective correlations based on it. Assuming that they are valid, there must be some objective correlation, some formula that you should be able to come up with. I haven't come up yet. So that's basically, we'll use it because we were using it earlier. But the thing is we are not fully sure. Of course, we are not fully sure of anything, but these, with the Jagannath Hainamcha and Dukh Siddhanta, this definition of Bhava Arudhas, I'm reasonably comfortable. I put it aside for a while. I was hoping to find something similar with the Surya Siddhanta, but the thing is, all these things like Charakarkas, especially Arudpadas, I wasn't able to make really much progress with Surya Siddhanta. I tried a lot. I tried so many things, but I could not. All I have is subjective things, not objective things. So that is why I said, okay, fine. I want to move in the objective direction. So this is the one with which I made most progress in objective research. So I'm back here now.
So the divisional chart that we are using as the basis itself won't be the case anymore.
Divisional chart?
We are using like divisional chart itself as the Rashi, and we were treating that in Surya Siddhanta and trying to analyze.
We were doing that in the Jagannath Hainamcha Dukh Siddhanta also we were doing it.
Dukh Siddhanta you are doing it, but we are doing it Rashi and then you are doing this as a divisional
For evaluation of the conditions of the conditional dashas. Is that what you are talking about?
No.
We were taking it as Rashi and we were doing things.
But in Surya Siddhanta, more importance we gave to the divisional chart to treat that itself as the Rashi and then...
No, we were doing it even before. It didn't come with Surya Siddhanta.
Oh, okay.
That we were doing before, long back basically.
When I was on sabbatical.
Even before that, but yeah, probably, yeah.
But we were not looking at Vimsotri Dasa.
The only difference is, we weren't looking at taking the divisional chart as Rashi and finding its Vimsotri Dasa, we weren't doing it.
Correct, okay.
But what I'm saying is, we will do that even now. The only thing is, apart from Vimsotri, to find Shodashotri, Ashtotri, etc., we were basically saying, taking the divisional chart as Rashi and saying Lagna is at 18 degrees in Leo, in the divisional chart. 18 is in the second half, so this is basically,
Still the first half.
this is Moose Hora.
Oh, okay.
So and so Dasha will apply. That kind of analysis we were doing, and that will basically go easy on it for a while.
Other question is...
So we will not use conditional Dashas in the divisional charts. We will just use Vimsotri in the divisional charts. We will try that.
But can we use the same conditional Dasa in the D1 chart?
Yes, we will continue to use them because we were doing earlier also.
And the other thing you said, this Lagna, you are going to take the house from 15 degrees.
15 degree on either side of the Lagna or any reference will be the first house for me.
So at some point it is not in the chart, but we were saying, okay, it is in the second house 7 degrees, so that is still effectively the first house and things.
Yeah.
Is that still the case? Or
We will still do that, but the thing is the definition is instead of reference plus 30 degrees, it is reference plus minus 15 degrees.
So what is displayed in the chart here is as it is or with that?
Actually, we are just looking at the Rashi based charts here. We are not even looking at, we will do it mentally, the Bhava. But the thing is, if you want to use the Bhava Chakra, then you have to go to the basic houses and then there will be an option there. Ascendant, if you go to basics and houses, basics tab, upper tab, houses, lower tab, basics, upper tab, houses, lower tab, context menu, the pop-up menu, ascendant, basically select the third one from bottom,
Ascendant or chosen reference?
Ascendant or the chosen reference is the middle of first house.
That is default. That's already said.
Okay, good. So that is good. So that's all. So once you do that, if you click on the Bhava Chakra, there is a B. There is a chart with a B in the middle, in the icons, right? You select that, it will basically select houses from Lagna, Sun, Moon. You can find the reference and you can find the divisional charts, Rashi, D10, etc. So suppose I select Lagna and Rashi. Oh, by the way, here also you could have changed the middle or start anyway. So if you do this and you select click on any chart, select Bhava Chakra, then you will get the Bhava Chakra. Okay?
Why it is called Chalit also?
Chalita means moving, right? Chala means move. Chalita means move in. Moved. Basically, it's a gerund form. Chalita is move, like Gamita, Kharita, like that. So, Lishita, like that. Ita means gerund, done. Chalita means moved chart. So, potentially when you, instead of showing a planet in that sign, it may move, right? That is why they call it Chalita Chakra. This is basically a name popular in the North India. They call it Chalita Chakra. Okay, so we have spent enough time on the settings. So that was great.
I have the chart.
Yeah, give me a chart.
We did last time, but we didn't have any events for that.
So you have events now?
So
This was good timing. Yeah.
Questions on the what? No, sir, before
you
you
have
start
questions
doing
on
it,
the-
Yes.
yesterday's Panchanga Shravanam. How do you calculate this
Murti.
Sasya Adhipati, like Varshadipati, like that?
Varshadipati, basically the way I calculate it is, what people do is, they take the standard definition is the Varajapati. The new year, whenever the new year starts, you make a chart for it, right?
For that country.
Like a Shukla Pratipada, for the capital of that country. And when you do that, whatever is the Vara, the weekday at that time, that Varesha becomes the ruler of the year. This is the standard definition. And the definition I use is, because we use the Horajapati for everything, basically. In the Shadbalas, as the for the month, for the year, for everything, basically. When the year starts or when the month starts, you look at the Hora, and then the Hora Lord becomes the thing is, normally, if you say that a year or a month starts at the beginning of the day basically at sunrise, if you use the Savana calendar, that is what is used in the Shadbalas for months and years. So because it starts at the beginning of the day, the Vara happens to be the Hora Lord. That is why Varajapati convention came. But the thing is, from the Tithi convention, we know that Hora Lord is taken as the ruler of the year. So instead of taking the Vara Lord, I basically take the Hora Lord. And also that gives a different ruler of the year for different parts of the world instead of giving the same. The Hora may be different in different places. So that is the definition that I used when I said Venus is the ruler of the year for this country, etc.
So then after that you draw the ministers and all together, the Shadipati,
Yeah.
Varshadipati, like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
if you don't mind, can you stop the recording?
Okay. ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः ॐ वृषभं च शनीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम् ॐ तद्विष्णो परमं फलं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीव चक्षुराततम् ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः ॐ हरे रामकृष्ण हरे रामकृष्ण हरे रामकृष्ण ॐ पराशराय नमः ॐ पराशराय नमः ॐ पराशराय नमः ॐ घृणिसूर्यः आदित्यः ॐ घृणिसूर्यः आदित्यः ॐ घृणिसूर्यः आदित्यः ॐ Do you have any chart that you want to see? Any example chart?
Last week I requested to look at my chart.
Okay. Give me the data.
October 21.
1 second, actually I may already have it. 1 second. October 21, 1968, 6:31 p.m. Right?
Only thing I will talk about my birth time.
Yeah.
So, like when last time I went to India, like I was discovering removing all the papers from old paper. I found that my original birth certificate 7:15 is one recorded time according to the
7:15 p.m.
7:15 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to match both. Both are making sense. 6:31 p.m. also 7:15 p.m.
Okay. 7:15 p.m. is
Yeah,
that, right?
according to the very old transcripts.
Okay.
And that is the one they use for my marriage also.
Okay. And where did the 6:31 come from?
Since I don't know the time, birth time at the time when I was learning this software,
Yeah.
so it's like astrology. 7 years back we casted.
Yeah.
Calculation.
Is it like from your parents or your guess?
No, my mother said like sometime in the evening.
Oh, so you
So
basically
we
around sunset or something
yeah,
like that. Hello, class లో ఉన్నాను ఏం లేదు ఊరికే కాదు సార్ క్లాస్ కడుతున్నాను లేట్ అవుతుంది వాళ్ళని ఓకే బాయ్
So that was a guess time I picked and started on.
బర్త్ టైం రికార్డ్ 7:15 p.m. I'll just make a note of it. Okay, we'll see.
So I started then from there onward. Once I found that new actual birth time, I started using that as my.
Okay. Yeah, that may need some rectification, but hopefully not by 45 minutes.
The birth data once again, sir, for people.
Yes. October 21, 1968, 7:15 p.m. Earlier we took it as 6:31, apparently 7 years back, but he discovered paperwork, old paperwork that suggested 7:15 p.m. So we'll see in the vicinity of 7:15 p.m. and see if it makes sense. And the place is Proddatur, India. The time zone is 5 hours 30 minutes east of GMT, and the longitude is 78 degrees 33 minutes east, and the latitude is 14 degrees 44 minutes north. Okay? You want to sit closer to one of them and share the screen so that you can see more comfortably.
So that style or this style?
This, I think it doesn't matter. He is trying to open it up, so we'll
Okay. Wow, you have 4 planets in Virgo. So we'll change the time to 7:15 now. Obviously we have some events, right?
Right.
Okay, good. So the thing is, when we change the time, in the Rashi chart, in the D1 chart, which is basically the physical existence, the ascendant doesn't change. It still remains Aries. Earlier it was Aries. It still remains Aries, which makes sense. Because if it changes to Taurus, looking at you, basically looking at your head, you have a really big head, and you have, looking at the basic features, you are basically stout personality. You are not really thin or very fat. You are stout and you have a bald head. Looking at you, people can tell that you are a Pitta person. Your constitution, always the constitution is Pitta. So that is possible only if it is Aries. If it is Taurus, that is very unlikely. Taurus aspected by Venus will give a Kapha constitution, very fat and lot of thick hair, etc. So you would have expected some other constitution. Similarly, actually Pisces is also ruled out. So Aries definitely makes sense. But the thing is, when you go from 6:30 to 7:15, that doesn't change. Aries remains Aries. The Lagna is Aries. So but the thing is, it's on border. Another how long?
5 minutes.
5 minutes it will change. So all we can tell is actually 4 minutes 18 seconds later, the Lagna will change. So we can tell that it's not after 7:19:18. So 7:15 time recorded by your parents, that may be off by 5-10 minutes, right? It may be 7:25 or 7:20, but we know that it's not. It has to be before 7:19:18 based on how you look. So it is your Aries Lagna person. Now let's look at marriage.
Actually, even moon last time when we were looking at moon, it was in Virgo.
Yeah.
It's 6:31 p.m.
Yeah. Oh, moon changes sign. Okay.
Moon changes sign actually,
Okay.
and it is now Gandant, 0 Libra.
No, it's not Gandanta. Gandanta is not the beginning or end of any sign. It is only the border between fire and water is Gandanta. Then end of Cancer, beginning of Leo. End of Scorpio, beginning of Sagittarius. End of Pisces, beginning of Aries. These three, those are called Gandanta because you are in between fire and water. So those portions are dangerous. But not any sign borders are dangerous. So this is not.
You mean the end of the sign, you can count the other one next, right?
Yeah, end of the sign or the beginning of the next sign.
Oh.
When one sign is watery sign and the other sign is fire. For fiery signs come after the watery signs. So at the border, basically you have a problematic situation. Any planet in the border can cause problems, health problems or accidents, etc.
Oh.
So that's not a problem. But the thing is, moon sign changes.
Moon sign changes.
Moon sign changes. It is Tula, but the nakshatra remains the same.
Chitra.
Yeah. And dashas will change by a few months or so. So let us see the marriage and see if it makes sense. When were you married? Do you remember?
Yes, August 21, 1997.
Let me see if I have it written down. See, I don't have it written down, so let me write it down.
August 21.
Marriage, August
21, 1997.
21, 1997. Okay.
I came to US on February 4th.
Came to US.
February around 4th.
Yeah.
1998.
1998. So soon after marriage you came to US. Okay. Cool. So let us see.
Taurus is not a stout sign, sir. And people with Taurus background.
Usually for Taurus is not a stout sign because Taurus people are very workaholics. But the thing is, if you look at all the planets who are aspecting Taurus here, Taurus is aspected by Venus, own sign Lord, and Jupiter is also aspecting it. So the thing is, if this in this chart Lagna was Taurus, basic nature will be Kapha. Out of Kapha, Pitta, Vata, these are the three Ayurvedic constitutions, right? It has been Kapha. So Kapha means either he will be stout or he will be fat or eyes will be big. If Venus has a strong influence on Lagna, eyes will be very big, whereas his eyes are not really that big. And also, the Kapha nature has to show up in other ways. For example, having very lustrous skin or thick hair, etc. There has to be some Kapha indications. Whereas his behavior, his looks, everything is clear Pitta. He is a clear Pitta person.
Ayurvedic doctor also come down. I have a lot of it.
Oh yeah. Actually, one look is enough. Some people, they don't look particularly like Kapha or Pitta or Vata. Then to diagnose what dosha they have, what nature they have, you have to basically ask them questions or dig deep. But in your case, it's so obvious. So, okay, marriage let us take. 97 August 21, he got married. First use the natal dasha, Vimshotri dasha.
Jupiter.
The dasha that gave marriage is
Jupiter Ketu.
Jupiter Ketu gave marriage. Does it make sense? Does Jupiter Ketu giving marriage make sense?
Jupiter is the Lagna Lord in the Navamsha.
Yeah. Yeah. Jupiter is Lagna Lord in Navamsha, and also he is in Samsatka with the 7th Lord. 7th Lord Mercury and Lagna Lord Jupiter are aspecting each other. So there is a chance of giving marriage. What about Venus? Sorry, Ketu. Can Ketu give marriage? Can Ketu give marriage? He is in the 6th house, but he is the 12th Lord. 12th Lord in the 6th, so he is giving Viparita Rajoga.
And Jupiter is aspecting Ketu.
And moreover, from Jupiter as Lagna, from the Dasha Lord as reference. Ketu is not trying. He is the 11th Lord aspecting 11th. 11th is fructification of desires. He is basically gains. So 11th Lord aspecting 11th, he can give gain of marriage. So Jupiter Ketu is possible. If you look at the Tithi Pravesh of that year, 1996 we should see. If you see 96 Tithi Pravesh chart, we have a border, so this may help. Okay, so
Jupiter again.
Wednesday on August 21 is Jupiter Dasha.
Jupiter Venus.
As per Navamsa Jyothishya Stotri Dasha. Now the thing is,
Yes.
no, just Jyothishya Stotri Dasha. Now, does it make sense? Jupiter is the 9th lord and also the 6th lord. He is in the 4th house. Can he give marriage? Does it make sense? 9th lord, but the thing is, from 9th he is in the 8th house, so he is not particularly strong for the 9th as the 9th lord. And he is the 6th lord of separation actually, and in the 4th house of Sukha. He is not particularly showing marriage. Does he have any link with the 7th lord Saturn? Not really, right? So overall, and if you look at the Lagna contains a malefic Mercury, malefic Venus, basically 3rd lord, 12th lord, 11th lord, and Yokaraka Mars is also there, so he is good, but there are other malefics as well there. So
I won't have expected marriage.
we wouldn't have expected marriage in this year actually with this. Moreover, in that particular period, overall the year chart itself is not very conducive, and that particular dasha is not even more not conducive. Now, if we change the time, how much leeway do we have in the Navamsha? When will Lagna change sign in Navamsha? Is that 1 minute 29 seconds earlier?
Oh, in Tithi Pravesha.
Tithi Pravesha. So 1 minute 29 seconds earlier, Lagna will change, and 12 minutes later. So do that 1 minute 29 seconds earlier. So change it back by 1.5 minutes. So we'll say 19, 13, 30. Basically 7, 13, 30. 7 hours, 13 minutes, 30 seconds PM. Okay. Now, if you do this, and then if you find the Tithi Pravesh chart, you will see that Lagna is Gemini now, not Cancer in the Navamsha. Now, did Dasha change? Dasha is still the same. So Jupiter gave marriage.
Jupiter becomes 7th lord.
Jupiter is the 7th lord in the 5th house. 5th house of Purva Punya, basically blessings from previous, all the good deeds that you have done in the previous lives or previous times in the current life. So he is in that auspicious house in a trine, and he is the 7th lord of marriage. So he can give, there is a chance that he can give marriage. And moreover, the yoga between Mercury, Venus and Mars now. Mercury is the Lagna Lord, right? Mercury is the Lagna Lord, and Mars is actually very far away from him. So, moreover, he is the 6th Lord debilitated. Debilitation of 6th Lord, a malefic, is a good thing. And Mars is here, Mercury is here, Venus is here. So Mars is far away, 22 degrees, 10 degrees, 2 degrees. So 22 degrees means 20 degrees away from Mercury. So he doesn't really influence Mercury that much. And Venus is within 9 degrees from Mercury. So Mercury, Venus have a Raj Yoga. And they are the Lagna Lord and the 5th Lord. So that is auspicious. So there is and moreover 4th Lord and 5th Lord. So that shows blessings of gods, blessings from previous good deeds the person has done. And moreover Jupiter is in that house and he is affecting Lagna.
Antardasha is Venus.
He is the 5th Lord. So that is good. He is the one giving Raj Yoga with Mercury. And moreover he is the Karaka. So Jupiter, so this makes more sense. But the thing is, so we know that the time is not after 7:13:30, but it could be before. If you look at how much leeway do we have, click again, 13 minutes 47 seconds earlier it will change. So this could be between 7 o'clock and 7:30, basically. A little before 7 to 7:13. That is the window we have. Then we can still explain the event in the entire window. Now let's look at another event to see if we can get any better idea.
See 98.
Yeah. Let us go look at the natal chart now. Go back to the natal chart and D4. D4 is the chart of relocation. So when did you say? 98 February. Okay, first week. 98 February first week. So if you look at the Vimshottari Dasha, basic Vimshottari Dasha, what was it?
Jupiter, Venus.
Jupiter, Venus. Okay. So Jupiter, Venus took him abroad. Does it make sense in the Chaturthamsha? First of all, Jupiter, perfect. Perfect. Why?
12th Lord in 9th house.
He is the 12th Lord. 12th shows leaving your motherland and going to a faraway place. He is in the 9th house. 9th shows prospering abroad. And he is with
Rahu.
Rahu. Rahu is the significator of anything foreign. Anything foreign means anything that is different from your own, the culture in which you were basically, that you are familiar with when you are brought up. So Jupiter is with Rahu in the 9th house and he is the 12th Lord. So this is a slam dunk case. Jupiter Dasha giving foreign lessons is very clear. Why Venus though? Why Venus? Does Venus have any link with going abroad? There are two specific links that I am looking for, that I wanted to tell me.
For you, Jupiter is alone.
You have to change the settings.
Rahu. I am using true nodes. You may be using mean nodes. Alt PCP. Basically, calculations relating to preferences relating to calculations, planet calculation options. There will be a
True positions, mean nodes.
true nodes. Geocentric positions, true positions, and
True nodes.
true nodes. Those are the settings to go by. That you should use.
Save preferences. Right away.
And save the preferences so that you don't have to do this in the next class again.
Okay.
Okay.
Venus
So,
is the 5th Lord, sir.
yeah?
5th Lord aspecting 5th.
Yeah, fifth Lord aspecting fifth. The shows basically
Staying
fortune. Yeah, fifth we normally say the house of staying where you are. But overall it shows fortune. But the thing is, why abroad? What are the factors for going abroad? Rahu, 9th house, 12th house, 7th house, and what else? Badhaka. Right? Badhaka Sthana can take a person abroad. And what is the Badhaka Sthana for Ketukan Lagna? For a mobile sign, it is the 11th house. So Scorpio, he is in the 11th house. So he is in the Badhaka Sthana. Moreover, a watery sign. We always say that watery signs are conducive to foreign travel. So he is in a watery sign in Badhaka Sthana. So, and moreover, Badhaka Lord Mars is in Venus house. He has an exchange with the Badhaka Lord and he is in Badhaka Sthana. So that is one factor. The other factor is never forget to take the Dasha Lord as Lagna. When Jupiter Dasha is running, take Jupiter as Lagna and see the chart from that to see the Antardashas. From Jupiter as Lagna, what about Venus? He is the 9th Lord, aspecting the 9th house.
Correct.
So that makes him a very strong candidate for taking abroad. So Jupiter Venus does make sense. Also check the D4 Vimshottari Dasha. D4 Vimshottari Dasha.
We should be doing that for his marriage also.
Yeah, we can go back and do. But do the D4 Vimshottari Dasha. We'll go back and do the marriage also.
1998.
Jupiter,
Venus one.
Same thing. So based on the Rashi as well as D4, the same Dasha running. So that makes sense. Oh, actually, you know what? Because his moon is at the beginning of Libra, in Navamsa he will be in Libra, in Chaitanya he will be in Libra. So most dashas may actually coincide. The D4, D9, D1, etc. So marriage is quickly check. It is, yeah. D9 Vimshottari Dasha in 97 August is Jupiter Venus. So it's the
correct.
now actually it has changed now. The Antardasha has changed at the time of marriage. Instead of Ketu, it is Venus. And the thing with Venus is he is the Karaka for marriage. And from Lagna he is the 6th Lord debilitated, which shows the problems and opposition melting away. And from the Dasha Lord as Lagna, he is Yokarka, the 9th house of fortune. So, and he is also the dispositor of the 7th Lord, moon from Dasha Lord. So basically he makes even more sense than Ketu. So both the events are making sense, but the bad news is we don't really have any further clarity. Like So Siddhamsa border is 22 minutes back the time will change, 5 minutes later the time will change. So we don't really have any further clarity, any further narrowing of the window. The window is still between 7 and 7:30. So let us see if there is any other event.
Should we go to Siddhamsha for that? Or?
Yeah, why not? Siddhamsa, career, gain in career in September 2005. This is an event that I wrote down. Is that right?
Right.
September 2005, there was a gain in career. Let's look at Dashamsa. First actually, let's look at the career itself. What is his career? What does he do for a living? You are a software.
I started as a development developer.
Yeah.
I now like group manager
Yeah.
development.
But you do basically software management and software programming.
Software programming.
Programming and management. So, okay. Now the thing is,
Started
Dashamsa.
as a civil engineer. Started as a civil engineer.
Okay.
Then transformed into computer programmer.
Okay. Now, if you take the Capricorn Lagna in Dashamsa that we get here,
Yes, we can.
the 10th house is Libra
Correct, sir.
with Moon and Ketu in it. Moon and Ketu, do they show programming career or management? Neither. Moon shows maybe taking care of people, nursing, school, this kind of, so many other things, but not really programming. Ketu may show programming,
Mars, Rahu are
But-
also aspecting 10th, sir.
not software aspect in time. That will show more hardware engineering. But the thing is, you are not really into hardware, right? You are more your application software, right? You are not into electronic
No.
programming, chips, etc. Yeah. So he is actually more in enterprise programming and application programming. That is not Mars Rahu kind of thing. That is not even really. That may be Ketu kind of thing, but more like it is like Mercury kind of
Mercury,
thing.
Venus.
Yeah, Mercury, Venus. Venus can show management also. He is manager. So, given that, my feeling is Lagna may have to be Sagittarius, not Capricorn. How much does the time need to change? 5.5 minutes. 5 minutes 28 seconds. So let's change it back by 5.5 minutes. So make it, if you change by 5.5 minutes, it becomes 7, 8.
7:30.
No, just 7, 8. Because you need 5:28. So I subtracted 5.5. So the time I am taking right now is 7:08 p.m. With this, the Lagna is, in Dashamsa Lagna is
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius, and the 10th Lord Mercury. 10th Lord is Mercury, he is in Lagna.
Lagna.
So-
Suggesting a person who is interested in doing a lot of work.
Yeah, it shows an intelligent person. Mercury in Lagna shows somebody who is analytical, who is intelligent, and who's basically, who's easygoing and who's good with everybody. He doesn't it's not like he strongly likes somebody, hates somebody. He's somebody who has a decent relationship with anybody. So these are the qualities of Mercury. And also Sagittarius rising, so a little fiery. He shows initiative and energy in the work. And the 10th house being 10th Lord being Mercury shows software kind of work. Now let's see the Dasha. September 2005, right? You said there was a good time in the career.
We look at D1's Dasha or D1.
We'll see both. First let's look at D1. So September 2005, what was the Dasha?
Jupiter is ending and
Jupiter
Jupiter
Rahu.
Rahu.
Okay. So Jupiter Rahu Dasha. Jupiter Rahu Dasha. Jupiter Dasha, Rahu Anta Dasha, they were basically at the end of Jupiter. In Jupiter Rahu, there was a good development in career. Does it make sense?
But 7th Lord in Lagna, should we be using... Okay, this is D1. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So this opposite doesn't apply. Yeah. So,
So since 90, I never had a break with the jobs.
mhm,
Always somewhere like
gainfully employed. Well, the thing is,
Lagna Lord in the 6th house.
he is the Lagna Lord in the 6th house, so he shows service first of all, not business or something. 6th house is service. And Lagna Lord, so he is auspicious. He is basically a good planet for you. So he will not really give any problems in career. Career will be smooth. But why did Rahu period give a good break? Why did Rahu? Yeah, he is in the 6th house, but huh? Why did he give recognition? 6th house?
It has some kind of a connection to for a good change or something.
Mhm. One more thing is Rahu, more than his ownership, more than the house he owns, he basically behaves more like the house he occupies. Other planets, wherever they are, they remember their responsibility. Whichever house they own, they want to take care of it. In the case of Rahu and Ketu, I keep saying that they care more about where they are, who they are with, their company. They act like their company. Whoever they are with, they tend to act like them. So they are more influenced by their company and their position rather than their ownership. And he is with Mars.
In such a case, this prior period itself should have given him a benefit.
Prior period can also give benefit. But the thing is, you can tell about Mars that he is afflicted by Rahu. Whereas Rahu, he is basically with Mars in Mars house, so he starts to behave a little like Mars. Now if you look at the D10, D10 Vimshotirdaša, basically more focused. What do you see there?
2005.
2005.
Once again, end of
June.
Jupiter, sir. Oh, okay. 2005 June. Saturn started, sir.
2005 June. Yeah. Does it make sense? Honestly. Just be honest. If it doesn't make sense, we'll see what is missing. Let's not justify somehow. Saturn is a male fig. Second and third lord. Right? Male fig. Clear male fig. He's not a good planet.
He's in the 9th house.
He's in the 9th house. A male fig in the 9th is not that good. 9th is the house of fortune. But somebody who's not a good planet for you, if he's in the house of fortune, he will actually give break of fortune. So it's not really, but the thing is, this Dasha, when did it start?
2005 when...
2005 March.
That would have been just deciding, like June is the appraisal time, but
But the thing is, overall, since 2005, your career is fine, right?
Right.
You're doing fine. You're doing very well. So Saturn Dasha started. Soon later, some good development happened, and overall, your career is doing well. That doesn't really add up with Saturn. Now, go back to your point. You earlier said, oh, 7th Lord is in Lagna, we should use Sapati. But then you said, oh, that's in D10, not in D1. Now we are using D10 Dasha. So now let's apply that, whatever you said earlier. Now it applies. So Lagna contains the 7th Lord Mercury in D10. So don't use D10 Vimshoti Dasha, but use D10
of
Visaptati Samadasha. Okay, this is the Dasha applicable if the 7th Lord is in Lagna or Lagna Lord is in the 7th house. Here, in the D10 chart, 7th Lord Mercury is in Lagna. So this applies. So if you see this Dasha,
Mars is rising. Mars is the Dasha Raj.
Yeah, at the time of the development, Mars was the Dasha running.
Mars Rahu.
No, Mars Moon.
Mars Moon.
Yeah.
June, July kadandi.
You said, oh, sorry, Mars Rahu.
Mars Sun, sir.
Let's one second.
2005
June.
మరి సన్ కదా
Jyothishya Sandhya.
2005 June, I'm getting Mars Rahu.
Mars Rahu I'm getting.
Sun in September, started in 2005 September.
Yeah.
But the thing is, see, with a little change in the time, this will change. What time did you take? 7, 8, right? Yeah.
You had apply all the tests, yeah. You got it.
Yeah. So,
Mars Rahu, sir.
Mars Rahu, okay. Good. So Mars Rahu was running. Well, both the planets are in the 5th house of recognition, right? 5th house of Purvapunja and also recognition. And moreover, even though the appraisal may have happened then, basically the Dasha that came, Antardasha that came later, basically for the next 1 year almost, was Mars Sun. And Mars is 5th Lord, Sun is 9th Lord, 2 trine lords. So that year is basically a very good year. And overall the thing is, during the Mars Dasha, towards the second half of the Mars Dasha, Mars is in a back-ending, he is in a, what is it called? Prushthodaya. Aries is a Prushthodaya Rashi, basically it rises with its back. And planets who are in back-rising signs, they give results towards the end of the Dasha. Whereas planets in Shishodaya Rashi, rising with the head, rising with the front, they give results in the first 1/3 or first half. Whereas planets in Abhyodaya Rashi, basically rising with the middle, they give results in the middle of the Dasha. So you will expect this Mars, the 5th Lord in 5th, to give some recognition and rise in career towards the end of his dasha, and that's what he did, as per the chapters of dasha. And then the dasha after Mars dasha, currently what is the dasha running? Mercury dasha. So that's a good dasha. Mercury dasha is a very good dasha, because Mercury is the 10th lord and he is the one in Lagna. So this dasha basically has been a good dasha for him. So the thing is, overall, he's been running Mars and Mercury dasha for the last 12 years. And these are really good dashas. Whereas Moon dasha, 89 to 98. See, the thing with Moon is, he is the 8th lord. 8th lord is basically not really malefic. He is neutral as per Parashara, and he is in the 11th house of gains, and he is aspected by Mars. He is doing Chandramangal Yoga. He is also a good planet, but being the 8th lord and being with the nodes, he has to give changes, transformations, etc. It will not be like very smooth. There will be changes. There will be instability. So that is Moon dasha. But Mars and Mercury are really stable dashas and also very good dashas.
Yeah, that time I changed 3 companies
In the Moon dasha?
Moon dasha.
In those 9 years. Yeah. It is likely that when Moon influence comes, there will be some changes and instability. So this actually adds up. So the Dashamsha Lagna is most likely Sagittarius, not Ketukan. So now the thing is, how much leeway do we have? See, 2 seconds later it will change. So it can't. So
11 minutes earlier, sir. 11 minutes earlier it will change, but we have up to 7 to...
Yeah.
7
So
to
we already changed it to 7-8. So
8 minutes, sir.
So 7 to 7-8 we have 8 minutes. 7 o'clock between 7 and 7-8. So we have a window of 8 minutes. Let's see any other events. There was an event about your mother, I think. Mother fell seriously sick on July 19, 2005.
No,
Actually, she passed away, right? When did she pass away? Let me note down. Huh?
November 2008.
2008 November. We can see that event. Before.
Yeah, mother died in 2008. Father in October 2010. 2012.
12.
No, 2011.
11. Father passed away October, last year, 2011 October. So mother and father passing away, we should be able to see. Mother in 2008 at November, father in 2011 October. Let us see those events. D12. Because D12 has boundaries at every 2.5 degrees. Now we are at 27 degrees, we can confirm 27.5 and 25. So let's go to D12. And let's see just see the Vimshottari of D12. So seeing so many variations, that's the main thing we'll see. We'll focus on the main thing. D12 Vimshottari Dasha.
Yeah, Saturn.
So mother died in 2008 November.
So Saturn, Mercury.
Saturn,
Mercury.
Shani Buddha. Mother died in Shani Buddha. Saturn, Mercury. Okay, does it make sense? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? How do you see mother? Fourth house, right? Fourth house from moon and fourth house from Lagna. Which is stronger here? Moon is in Libra and Lagna is in Aquarius with Saturn in it. Because Lagna Lord is Lagna, let's take Lagna as stronger. So, from the Lagna, if you see from the Lagna, the fourth house is Taurus. So, from Taurus, is Saturn a male Maraka?
Saturn is a...
He is Yokarka. He is Yokarka. But does he have any Markatva? Does he have any influence on the second and seventh houses? Does he have any influence on the 7th house from Taurus? Does he aspect it?
10th aspect something.
Yeah, he has 10th aspect. Saturn has 10th aspect. Saturn aspects the 10th house from him. So from Aquarius he aspects Scorpio. And Sun is there, right?
Yeah.
So Sun is in the 7th house and Saturn is aspecting him. So Saturn's aspect on the 7th house is there. So Saturn can be a marka, especially given that Sun is there. Sun is in the 7th house and Saturn is aspecting his enemy, his worst enemy. He can be inauspicious for that particular house. So Saturn is a marka, but he is not a strong marka. You wouldn't have expected him. What about Mercury? Is it Mercury, the Antardasha Lord? Yeah.
Yes.
Mercury is second
He
lord.
is in the 2nd house.
Mercury is the second lord in the 2nd house. So he is a marka. He is the second lord in the 2nd house. Not only that, he has one more indication.
With seventh lord.
With 7th lord Mars. 2nd and 7th are the house of killing. 7th lord is Mars. He is in the 2nd house with the 2nd lord. So Mars and Mercury both basically two markas, 2nd lord and 7th lord are together in the 2nd house. Because they are in Mercury's house, Mercury is basically like the landlord. He is the owner of the house occupied by both. So he can take initiative. He can take charges of Mars. But Mars and the could also have been bad. So Mercury is a marka. Saturn is a weak marka. He doesn't make great sense, but he makes some sense. Now, let us see. Now let us see the father's case.
Ninth house.
2011, right? So what is the dasha?
2011
Venus.
Venus.
Venus, 2011 dasha or antardasha? Saturn?
Lo Venus.
Yeah, Saturn dasha, Venus antardasha.
Saturn Ketu, I think.
End of Ketu, sir.
End of Ketu.
When? October?
October Vijayadashmi time.
Okay.
Third day of Vijayadashmi.
Yeah, that is Ketu, but the thing is, if the time is slightly off, it may have been Venus. So, Ketu Venus border. So, Saturn Ketu, Saturn Venus border, father passed away. So, does it make sense? Saturn Ketu.
Ketu in second. Almost, I mean.
Father is from the 7th house, right? The 9th house, right? 9th house from Sun and Lagna. Right?
Yes, sir.
Taking from Lagna, the 9th house is Libra.
Correct.
And Saturn is,
Saturn is on
he is Yokarka. Again, he is Yokarka. But the thing is, does he have any Markatva? He aspects both the 2nd and 7th houses.
houses. Yes, sir.
He has third aspect on the 7th house and 10th aspect on the 2nd house.
Right.
So both the killer houses, he is aspecting them. Okay? So that is point number 1. So he is a marka. And secondly, Sun is the significator of father. Saturn is aspecting Sun. So that makes him inauspicious for matters relating to father. And now look at the Antardasha Lord, Ketu. Is Ketu a marka?
The 2nd lord.
He is the 2nd Lord. He is the 2nd Lord, so he is a marka. So Ketu is a marka. Now, let us see the Tithi Pravesh. Let's hope if it can be on the border or something. 2008, right?
2008, yes.
October 28, 2008 is the Tithi Pravesh chart for 2008-2009. The mother passed away that year, right? Is Lagna on a border? Let's see how much leeway we have. 4.5 minutes earlier, 5 minutes later. So we can confirm whether it's before 7-4 or after 7-4. So let us see. You see what I am saying? So Dvalshyamsha Lagna, D12 shows parents. Lagna is Taurus according to the calculation, but it could be Aries. If the time is off by 4 minutes backwards, it could have been Aries. So does Aries explain mother's death better or Taurus? When did mother die?
Now,
Was it before November 13 or after?
November Kartika Masam and Saptami. Kartika Saptami. So
Okay.
I don't
Kartika Saptami, we will figure out. 2008 November, let's say November 10, 2008, let's say. November 10, 2008 is Kartika Shukla Saptami.
Yes, Supla Saptami.
So Shukla Saptami will be basically 6 days before. So November 4.
Venus is
Around November 4. November 4 plus minus 1 day.
now.
Okay, so that is November 4 means that is which dasha?
Rahu's
Before Venus came. So Rahu dasha. So Rahu dasha, probably Rahu Guru, but we are not sure of the Antardasha. But Rahu dasha killed mother. Is Rahu a killer for mother? Let's see. In this chart. D12 taking Taurus as Lagna. Fourth house is Leo. Leo shows mother. From Leo, seventh lord is Rahu and he is in the second house. So seventh lord placed in the second house. Second and seventh are the Marka houses, killer houses. So he owns one killer house. He occupies one killer house. So he is a clear killer. So Rahu can kill. So Rahu Dasha killing is possible. And the Antardasha was probably Jupiter, and Jupiter is actually the 8th lord in Lagna. So again he's not a good planet. And taking Rahu as Lagna, he's the 7th lord. But let's ignore the Antardasha. Even that makes sense, but Rahu clearly makes sense. On the other hand, if it was Aries, mother will be shown by
Cancer, sir. With Mars and Cancer. Cancer.
Yeah, Cancer. Taking Cancer as Lagna, Rahu is the 8th lord in the 3rd house. He shows suffering, etc., but he doesn't really show death. So probably Taurus is right. So how much leeway did we have?
4 minutes.
4.5, I think. 4.5 minutes. So the time we took is 7, 8. And 4.5 minutes back it changes. So we know that it is 7.3
to 7.
7.3.30. 7.3.5. 7.3.30 to 7.8. So that is the 4.5 minute window we have now. So based on all the events we saw, we narrowed down to 4.5 minute window. That window explains all the things that we know. Father. You said father passed away in 2008, right?
No, 2011.
I mean 2011 October, right?
Yeah, Vijayadashmi 3rd day, that is Annapurna.
Navaratri 3rd.
Navaratri 3rd day.
Okay. In that case, you were born on Ashwed Amavasya or Deepavali. So we just make the 2010 chart then. 2010 Tithi Pravesh chart. Okay. So November 6, 2010 is the chart. So this year resulted in the passing away of father. Look at the Tihya Dasha. Okay, look at the Tithya Dasha.
D1, sir.
Yeah, D1. Tithya we only see in D1. Okay. So it was Rahu Dasha. And the date will be, if Amavasya is on November 6, previous Amavasya will be around October 7 or so. So third day will be around October 9 or so. So your father died around October 9, right? October 8, 9, 10 like that. So that will be clearly Rahu Dasha. And Antardasha is probably Rahu Venus or Rahu Sun. We don't know for sure. But it is Rahu. So Rahu Dasha, can Rahu kill father? Let us see. Can Rahu kill father?
I have a problem with
What problem do you have? Tell me.
Rahu starts on 2010 for me.
Yeah, right.
12, 10, 2010.
Yeah, 12, 10, 2010. Yeah. Because this is the previous year. But the thing is, when the Rahu Dasha comes again in 2011 on October 1, that's when he kills. Okay? Okay. So, is Rahu a killer for father? How do you see? How do you see father here? Okay. Okay, if we take Scorpio as Lagna, is Rahu a killer? Not really. And even if you take the previous sign, if you change the Lagna from Pisces to Aquarius, and if the 9 shows Libra, does Rahu show death even then? No. But he kills, so something is wrong. Maybe Pisces is not the Lagna to be seen. What I mean is, we always say, for father it is 9th from Lagna or 9th from Sun. For mother, 4th from Moon or 4th from Lagna. Maybe Sun should be seen here. Is Lagna strong or Sun? Sun is alone, though not in a friendly sign, he is alone. And Lagna is restricted by Moon, Mars, Rahu. There is an eclipse of Moon in Lagna. Moon, Mars and Rahu are together in Lagna, right? So, because is there a good combination or not really an auspicious combination?
It's not really.
It's not a nice auspicious. It's like basically a bunch of people fighting with each other. Rahu like a goon, a mafia person coming and fighting with a couple of people. So the thing is, it's like a broken house. So Lagna is not really that strong. So instead of taking Lagna here, take Sun. He is alone basically. And he is aspected by Jupiter. So take Sun as the Lagna. So 9 from Sun. What is it? Ketukan. Now taking Ketukan as Lagna for father this year, Rahu is the second lord in the third. Is that a killer combination? Yes. Second lord is a Maraka. Moreover, we always say second lord in third, third lord in second, seventh lord in eighth, eighth lord in seventh. These are killer combinations. So here, the second lord is in the third house. Moreover, he is with Moon, the seventh lord, the other killer. So two killers are in the third house. So this is basically this is not an auspicious combination. So Rahu can kill. Okay, and he did kill. So
that was a sudden death, not like sick like person in a moment.
Yeah, with Rahu and Ketu things can happen suddenly. So this makes sense, but unfortunately the thing is because we use Sun, not the Lagna, we can't rectify Lagna basically. Is it previous sign or next sign? This could be previous sign. Still the logic will hold. So bottom line is we have a window between 7, 4.5 and 7, 8. So we'll finally go to D24. What do you know about your education?
1990 I graduated in civil engineering.
One second. I'll write it down. 1990
I did
graduated in
civil.
Civil engineering. BE Honors Civil engineering.
And 1994 I did my masters in environmental engineering. And 1996 I did business management.
Okay, you did a lot of things, so we can see all these in the T24.
No, diploma in business management. It's not a full-time, part-time.
Okay. So 90 he graduated with a bachelor's degree in civil engineering, 94 masters in environmental engineering, and then 96 diploma in business management. Go to the D24. The Lagna we have is Libra, but if the time changes back by 3.5 minutes, it can be Virgo. So consider both Libra and Virgo.
Siddham's Lagna, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the Tithi Pravesh, sorry. So Siddham's Lagna is Taurus. I didn't change from the Tithi Pravesh chart. So 2 minutes 46 seconds earlier Lagna will change. So that's nice. So consider Taurus and Aries. And go to the Vimshottari of D24. Vimshottari of D24.
1990 and Venus, sir.
Yeah.
Venus Mercury he graduated.
Yeah. Venus Mercury gave a degree, a graduation. Okay.
Yes, Lagna Lord
And that was in civil engineering. And then masters in environmental, right? That was 94?
94.
94.
94 and
Total Sun.
Yeah. And then diploma in management is?
96.
again Sun.
Sun. So Sun gave a diploma in management. Okay. Let us now see if things add up. First let us see the Venus Mercury period, getting a degree, basically the first professional degree in life he got in Venus Mercury, and Venus is Lagna Lord and Mercury is
The fifth Lord.
fifth Lord. So they are both auspicious planets for the D24. So they can give some recognition. So he got his degree, and Mercury is in the 9th house of bachelor's studies, and Mercury can show computers, math, logic, etc. But the thing is, it's a Saturn house. Saturn can show civil engineering. Saturn is the planet of civil engineering. So civil engineering is possible. And the next thing is the masters is shown by
Second house.
second house. Second house is Gemini. Gemini can show
Mercury once again.
Mercury's influence is there. So there is a connection. Mercury is the connection between ninth and second houses. So there can be connection between bachelor's and master's education. And Mercury and Gemini can show environmental engineering. Because instead of just focusing on civil, if you talk about the environment, there can be Moon, Mercury. These are the planets that show environment. So Mercury can show environmental engineering. But why was it in Sandasha? What is the link the Sun has to that house? What is Sun's link to the second house? Does Sun have any link to it? I told you earlier about Arudhas, right? For every education, you can take the corresponding Arudha. So if you see the A2, second house is in Gemini, and it's Lord Mercury. Mercury is in Capricorn, so he is in the 8th house from it, right? So if you take the 8th house there from, you will get Leo. So he is the Lord of the Arudha corresponding to that education. So Sun Dasha can give it. And secondly, Sun is the planet of management, right? He is the Karka for management. So during the same Dasha, there was also a diploma. You can look at the diploma as a master's degree basically.
2 years program.
So basically after bachelor's, master's is basically something focused. You have your basic education, that is bachelor's, and master's is you specialize in something that can be used in career. So looking at the diploma, see the thing is, has it been postdoctoral or research, etc. After master's, somebody can do PhD. If it is that, then you go 6th there from the second house and go to 7th house. Here Sun is in the 7th house, but I won't actually use that logic because diploma in business management is not really like a PhD. It is more like another master's degree, adding another master's degree. So it is still a second house influence. And the fact that second house Arudha is in Sun's sign, and also Sun has 3/4 aspect on the second house, right? So that can show business administration. Second thing is, who else is aspecting the second house?
Venus.
So Sun has 3/4 aspect, Venus has full aspect. These are the two planets aspecting. Venus also shows management. For management, the planets are Sun and Venus, right? So Venus shows project management, Sun shows overall administration. So these two planets influencing the second house can show a master's degree in engineering, in administration, business administration, management, etc. So the thing is, given that on the other hand, if you go to Aries, right, Venus in the 9th house doesn't really explain civil engineering, Saturn in the 2nd house doesn't really explain environmental engineering, and Sun in the 8th doesn't really explain. Sun actually aspecting the 2nd house can explain business administration, but the other two don't make sense. So probably this is correct, which means time is not wrong. The window we have now backward is 2 minutes 46 seconds. So 2 and 3/4. So what you know is it can be 5:15, 7:5:15 to 7:8, 7:5:15 to 7:8. That is the window we have. 2 minute 45 second window. So we are taking as 7:8 now, but it can't be more than 7:5:15. Okay. Let's write it down somewhere. I'll just make a notes of it. Rectified time is 7:08 p.m. Can't be before 7:5:15 p.m. Okay. So this is the rectified. 7:5:15 and 7:08 is between those.
Correct.
So we are tentatively taking 7:08 because it's already rectified backwards by 7 minutes. We don't want to change it too much from the given time. We want it to be as close to it as possible. So we took it as 7:08, but it could be 7:06, 7:5:30, 7:07 also. We have no logic to disprove it. Okay. So we'll take 7:08 p.m. now and we'll answer your question. So what do you want to
I have
know?
actually three questions. One is
Okay.
my job now became very hectic in the sense.
Job has become hectic. 1 second, let me note down.
No, the very first thing I feel that last 2
Question
years.
on 1 second. 2012, May 14. Yeah. Job has become hectic. Yeah.
I think that my luck is over now. I mean, whatever time I have.
Job is hectic. Fees lucky is over.
Yeah. I mean, so far.
Do you see any tangible signs, or are you just
Some
hunch?
kind of frustration because
You are frustrated? Okay.
parents passing away and
Yeah.
whatever I did in, like, whatever activities I took over, they're all into losses only, not
I
fructifying.
see.
So, like,
But have they recognized it, and are you under pressure?
no pressure.
Or is it just you basically putting pressure on yourself?
Myself.
Because sometimes people just put pressure on themselves. Other people may be thinking, oh, he's doing a great job. We put him on such closer projects, but still he delivered such a great job. Too bad they didn't succeed. They may think like that, but you may be under pressure.
Correct. That is what it is.
Okay.
And then, like, my personally, I feel that I losing luck because whatever I do, actions, they result into bad.
Okay.
I mean, for example, like, spend a lot of time in my sister's marriage that is not went well, and I lost.
Okay, now you are talking about more than your career. Okay. You feel that there is some bad luck on you, and you are taking it to whichever activity you are embarking on.
Yes, and
Okay.
losing money.
Okay.
Like I recently
Yeah.
lost money in
Yeah.
a huge amount, like $10,000.
Cheated of money.
Cheated
right?
of money.
Yeah.
And I finally found these are known people only. Cheated of that money.
By known people.
Known people.
Okay. So the question number 1 is, you feel your luck is over in career. Is that so? Should I make some move in career, or is that what you want to know? How is the time in career?
No, luck is over overall, I mean, say, not in.
Okay. So what is the question relating to career?
A lot
Generally,
of very hectic work and travel and
yeah.
that resulting into some.
So do you want to change job, or what do you want? What do you want to? What is the action basically?
I don't want work.
Oh, so you are fed up with work and you want to see if you can retire. Okay.
No, not complete retirement means I want to.
Should I take it easy basically?
Take it
Find
easy.
a easier job
Yes.
where I don't have to put in slot so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Should I take it easy?
Explain. I mean,
Should I take it easy?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to join some MBA program and go back to college.
Okay. So the second question. Okay.
So I thought like something else different.
MBA. Do MBA now. Okay. Then what is the third question?
The third one is lot of times, I mean, because of the travel, whatever it is, from the beginning, my marriage, I always like at least 2 months away from the house, minimum in a year.
2 months. Okay.
2 months away, minimum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just for work or for my personal work.
Yeah. 2 months a year away from home. Okay. So what is the question?
So why? I mean, is it something written?
Oh, okay. So you want to know if is it something I can undo?
Yeah. So she says that you will be always away from the parents. My mother is to say, I don't know why she is, or even family.
Okay. Let's see now. First, let's look at career. First, actually, look at the D1 Mishotri. Because if his luck is over, so overall, let's see the basic chart, the Rashi chart. Is his luck really over? What dasha is he running?
Saturn.
Yeah, your luck is over. He is running Saturn dasha. See, before that it was Jupiter dasha. So 1990 till 2006 is Jupiter dasha. Jupiter is 9th and 12th lord. So it was flourishing abroad, flourishing fortune, etc. And also working hard because he is in the 6th house. But now Saturn dasha. Saturn is Bhadra lord and also 10th lord. Work. And he is in the 12th house. So he shows a lot of travel, instability in life, and also some spiritual progress. So these are all the things he shows. But the thing is, materially, he is a male sheep, and he being in the 12th house, he shows expenses, losses, etc. He doesn't really show a lot of gains. So this is a basically your luck may indeed be kind of peaked out already. it may be a slightly worse time. But the thing is, it doesn't seem that bad, as bad as you're thinking. Now, what is Antardasha?
Ketu, sir.
Oh, Ketu. So 12th house, planet in the 12th house is Dasha and 8th Lord is Antardasha.
Antardasha in the 6th house.
Yeah. And from the Dasha Lord, he is in the Marcus Khana. So yeah, this is, moreover next Venus will come. So from taking Saturn as Lagna, Venus is 8th Lord in the 9th house. So basically some slowdown in life is possible during this time. Okay, so we'll keep that at the back of our mind and answer his specific questions. Now Kerry, D10 Vimshottari. D10 Vimshottari.
Saturn once again. But should we see Vimshottari or Dvishottari?
Oh, Dvishottari, you are absolutely right. Vimshottari didn't work, right?
Yes.
And 7th Lord is in Lagna. So D10 Dvishottari Samdasha.
Mercury is running right now.
Mercury is running. So, though you may be a kind of out of luck, overall, career-wise you still have a lot of currency left. Career-wise.
They are giving more and more work. That is more responsibilities, more bigger role.
10th Lord in Lagna.
Yeah, he is 10th Lord in Lagna, so he is auspicious for career. He is actually still, your peak is not over as far as career is concerned. So physically, health-wise, etc. See, Saturn and Rahu in the 12th house can give some diseases or health problems, concerns. But the thing is, career-wise, this is a fine time. What is Antardasha now?
Rahu.
No, Shani.
Saturn is getting over and
Yeah. Mercury, Shani is running around, and Shani is, though he's in the 9th house, he's in the 9th house. This is actually, he's a male figure in the 9th house. So he shows basically some lack of fortune, and also he's a karaka for working hard. But the thing is, next is Rahu.
Rahu, because we said Rahu will act like Mars.
Yeah.
Will he give some
He's,
good change?
moreover, he's a friend of Mercury. So Antardasha Lord is a friend of Dasha Lord. He's in the 5th house concept. So this is very auspicious. So after this June, about a year, coming 1 year, when do they do appraisals in your company?
Actually, they are considering me to make me a director of this.
It's possible. It's possible. That's what I was saying. Depending on, that's why I was asking, when do they do appraisals at your office? Because this June to next July is actually very auspicious in your career. It shows recognition, more responsibility, more recognition, more success. So this is a good time.
Actually, I don't want to take up. I wanted to speak or somebody take.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know what to tell you. It is your call. But based on the horoscope, what I see is very good year, basically. From this June till next June, a very good time, and more recognition, more success, more fame, more reputation. So you will probably end up taking it. Sorry. So, okay. So that is Rahu. After that comes Sun. And his Sun in the verse, even though he is in the 12th house, he is basically 9th Lord. So 10th Lord Dasha, 9th Lord Antardasha. That is not bad at all. So I don't really see any kind of some kind of end game or taking things easy or some change in the career. I think the mad pace at which you are working, you've been working for a while, will continue. It may even increase a little bit in the next couple of years. But the thing is, Moon Antardasha comes in 2014 September. So from 2014 September till 2015 October, Moon is the 8th Lord, from Dasha Lord as well as Lagna. And he is being eclipsed by Ketu, by the 12th Lord of giving up. So, some kind of break in the career or some change or slowdown or some kind of partial retirement is possible in that period. Until then I don't see any hope. Hope meaning I see a lot of hope for good things that you apparently don't want. And the things that you want, I see from 2015. So end of 2014, 2015. So what I suggest is, just postpone those plans for a few more years, work hard a few more years, and maybe in your career, you had this feeling that you're doing well, but results are not basically, there are no results to show. You're working hard or you're putting effort, but things are not working out, right? You have that complex. Maybe next few years you can overcome that. You can be involved with some successful projects in the next few years. Because Sun, right? Sun is the 9th Lord and Rahu is in the 5th house. So basically trines are being activated. Lagna, 5th, 9th.
It's not like it's going to stop, sir. The next major dasa is Jupiter.
Yeah. Yeah, actually that's the other thing. I don't really see, he's absolutely right.
No, I have no complaint. Like I have been
You
given.
will keep working, you can't actually, you are, and it's good that you are working. Somebody with Aries Lagna, with so much fire in the belly, if they don't really have work, maybe you will enjoy for a few months, but you will really get bored.
It will make the others mad.
Yeah. I think you should keep working. Don't. But the thing is, if you want to take a break, take some kind of sabbatical or some kind of
2014.
huh? 2014-15 is a time to consider it. Until then, don't. It's not really worth it. So that is question number 1. Okay. Question number 2. Do an MBA now. Go to Siddhamsa and D24 Vimshatir Dasa. D24 Vimshatir Dasa. What is running?
Rahu.
Rahu.
D24 Vimshatir.
Saptri, we have.
No, Vimshatir.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah. Mars. Mars is running. Does Mars show doing any MBA?
Mars, Saturn is running.
Yeah. Mars is 12th lord in the 12th.
12th house.
He shows basically last. So being in the 12th house, the kind of education he can give is relating to 12th house basically. Knowledge relating to spirituality, that kind of thing. 12th is the house of moksha. So that kind of knowledge he can give. But as far as second house is concerned, masters, he's not really showing any, he doesn't have much to do with that.
He shows a lot of effort and not a lot of reward when it comes to, because he's in his
Education.
12th house.
Yeah.
He'll be expending a lot of effort in trying to study or trying to understand.
Yeah. So overall, I don't really see the time being auspicious for doing an MBA. The time is not really that conducive for doing an MBA. That is my judgment.
So we see the end here, right? When things can complete or something.
Yeah.
Suppose even it takes 5 years.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you are starting now, right, there has to be some influence on the second house.
So Venus time maybe is a big good one to start. 2014.
Venus has a possibility. Venus is, he is the Lagna Lord, so he is an auspicious planet in D24. And from Mars, he is in the 9th house. And he is the second Lord, he is aspecting the second house. So, 2014-15 time, then there is a, and even the next period Sun, right, Venus Sun, those 2 periods can show pursuing some kind of master's education, management education. So if you want to do an MBA, that's a better period than right now. So what I suggest is right now, instead of doing MBA, just focus on doing the management that you are doing better and climb some more steps in the ladder. When you still, when they are interested in you, use that opportunity. The thing is, things can change depending on things. Basically, any changes in the top will percolate down, and then people who really know that they are familiar with your work and who like you, if they are gone, right? Then the thing is, you may have to prove yourself with somebody else, and basically all kinds of politics. As you climb the ladder, there will be all kinds of politics.
That is what I perceive.
Yeah, but the thing is, without playing any politics, if you are basically, if there are people who like you and they are doing all the politics for you and they are promoting you, let them do. Why should you push back against it? Use it while it is there. Later when you want it, it may not be there. So use it now. This is a good period in your career. Now, what is the third question? So MBA, my advice is don't do now. Don't think of it. Just focus on the career. So slowing down the career and doing education. Now, 2 months, a year away from home, can I undo this? Okay. Mostly this is a non-question really. The way you ask the question is like, you just want to see why it is happening. The thing is, I can't tell you, you can change it. This is an observation, right? This is a loose observation that you made. So this is not really a question.
Consistently, like in 5 years, I was away from the house for a year. For my work.
In the last 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Go to the Rashi chart and
working for others basically. Working
Yeah.
for sibling, or working for parent, or working for somebody, not for
Look at the Rashi chart. Mishwatri. What is the Dasha?
Currently, sir.
Yeah.
Saturn.
Saturn. 2006 March it started. So you said last 5 years, right? Basically this shows 6 years. During the last 6 years, Saturn Dasha is running. And Saturn is in the 12th house. And he is Karka for working hard. And 12th house is the house of compromises, lot of travel, lot of instability, lot of giving, lot of inconvenience. So the thing is, Saturn in the 12th house is and he is the Karka for 12th house. So his Dasha is running. So this, for the last 6 years, basically, this shows some instability. 8th and 12th houses will show a lot of instability.
And Saturn is also Sadesati for him right now.
Yeah.
Because he's moving around in
Yeah.
3 signs.
For the last 3 years
3
or
years
so.
or so.
Yeah. So Saturn Dasha was running for 6 years. Within that, Saturn's transit came into the 12th house from Moon the last 3 years. So this is basically, there will be some compromises that you have to make, some situations that you don't enjoy being in but you have to face. All those are qualities of the 12th house. Facing situations you don't enjoy, and then learning how to adjust with others and do things for others. Give basically, it's the house of giving. 12th is the house of giving. 11th is the house of taking. So the thing is, that is the main reason. Saturn Dasha running is the main reason. So if you want propitiation, if you want relief from that, what should you do? Saturn, propitiate Saturn.
Chamakam.
Yeah, Shani is with Rahu. So you can do Rudra Chamakam. You can do Hanuman Chalisa. You can also do Shani Mantra. Contemplate Saturn.
I read Hanuman Chalisa every day.
Good. That is in general good, because Mars is your Lagna Lord and he's in a trine. That is very auspicious for you.
Nrsimha Kavacham and Hanuman Chalisa.
Very good. And the thing is, look at D4 now. Apart from D1 shows overall life. The planet being in the 12th there means, basically overall in his life during these 6 years, he has to make compromises and some adjustments. To specifically see residence, see D4. D4 is the house of chart of residence. So in D4, what is the Dasha running D4 Mishwatri?
Again, Saturn.
Saturn Dasha. Since 2005 November. So around the same time, basically. So approximately 6 years, you are running Saturn Dasha. And Saturn is the Lagna Lord, but he is in the 12th house. So again, you are running, and he is affecting the 9th house. So overall, Saturn in the 12th house in an inimical sign will show some instability relating to career, not career, residence. So all this travel that you mentioned, long travels, those are expected. And unfortunately, they will continue for a while. Saturn Dasha is not ending anytime soon. They will continue. So the thing is, if you pray to Saturn, if you worship Saturn on Saturday, and if you Saturn, basically either you worship Saturn or you just work hard. Saturn loves people who work hard. If you work hard, he doesn't really bother you. That's what he wants. He's basically the god Saturn that we talk about in mythology or Purana. He's basically a personification of the collective spirit of hard work in all of us, who manifests in your mind, his mind, my mind, everybody's mind. Saturn manifests as our discipline, our austerity, our spirit of hard work. So, you work hard, he is happy. Or you just contemplate his nature and praise him. In effect, you are basically, what you are doing is, with your praise, you are increasing Saturn in the world, basically. So then also he becomes happy. Or you work hard yourself, he becomes happy that way also. So you have to somehow make Saturn happy. Then it will be a little smoother. Otherwise, this is the period when there will be some instability. Not much can be done.
And he should take the director job.
Yeah, take the director job and work hard.
I also try to do, that's what voluntary work I try to do.
Yeah, that's good. Any other questions, any comments? Questions, comments?
about my spiritual.
That's what I'm looking at. D20 Vishwatri Dasha.
I'm
Mars
not
Dasha is
able
running.
to gain any of the mantras. I just go.
Yeah.
Even though I had like how many years I've been going to satsang or
Yeah.
sitting anywhere, I don't get anything. Actually, I don't get any mantras to be like by heart or something. I just listen to them or work there and come back.
Okay. So Vishamsha Live is 5.5 minutes, 2 seconds. So we can be confident of this Lagna. So Vishamsha D20 Vishwatri Dasha Mars Dasha is running right now. And Mars is the 8th Lord in the 8th house. So this is a very good Dasha. Since 2009, 2010 time frame, we are running Mars Dasha. This is a very good Dasha. This is a good Dasha of internal transformation. So don't worry about your progress or whether you know a mantra, whether somebody taught you a mantra or not. Don't worry about all that. Basically the goal of mantra is internal change, internal transformation. And whether you have a mantra, whether you don't have a mantra, whether you have a form of God or you don't have it, doesn't really matter. The thing is, God exists in various forms. He also exists as various qualities within us. Basically, our hard work, our discipline, our surrender, our devotion. He has millions of manifestations. So the thing is, if you go somewhere and you work, you do some service and come back, that is also a form of worshipping God. That is basically Karma Yoga. So, when the 8th house is very powerful, it either shows Raj Yoga because the 8th house is the house of experience. It's the house of Kundalini and mystical experience. Death basically, 8th house is the house of death. So, if people with a strong 8th house, they can experience death while alive. Basically, Hatha Yoga is that you are forcefully awakening your Kundalini and you basically those a mystical experience where you have an out-of-body experience is a death while you are alive. That is why 8th house is very important for those. So most mystics that you see, not just in Hinduism, even if you take Sufi mystics or Christian mystics will have a powerful 8th house. That is so with a strong 8th house, mysticism is a possibility. The other possibility is 8th is also the house of working hard. So Karma Yoga, work hard, serve people, service. So 6th house, 8th house, 10th house, these are the houses that show Karma Yoga. So here there are mixed indications. There are indications of Karma Yoga also, and also Raj Yoga. So
Ketu Rahu's influence on the 8th house is also there.
if Ketu Rahu's influence is there, it's more likely Raj Yoga, basically the mystical path. Here Ketu Rahu are in the 10th house. They don't really have much to do. But the thing is, apart from Mars, 8th Lord in the 8th, the other planet who is very strong in this chart is Shani in Mola Trikona. See, Mars and Saturn are both Mola Trikona. Saturn is 6th Lord in the 6th.
He is also the Atmakaraka.
Okay. 6th house is the house of serving others, service, overcoming obstacles, service, etc. So, with a strong 6th house and 8th house, it shows a lot of work, workaholism, and then service, basically, lot of service. So, most likely this is the chakra of Karma Yoga. So if you serve people, if you help people, some event is happening, some spiritual event, some temple is, let's say, doing a special puja. You just go there, you sit there, you help them, you wash dishes, you wash the bathroom.
It's like you give service. Right?
Yeah, you just do service and you come back. That itself is good enough for you. You don't necessarily need a mantra. But the thing is, with a strong 8th house, and the dasha of the 8th Lord running right now, you have to experience something. You have to have some mystical experiences. That is my feeling. Before this dasha ends. Most likely either in Mars Venus or Mars Moon. 2014-15 time frame or more likely 2016. 2016 with Moon in Manakarasthana in the 8th house. 2016 Mars Moon period. Very likely there will be, if not before, there will be an awakening, internal Kundalini awakening then, and some mystical experiences. Any other questions, comments?
That explains actually, because I don't feel like then why you are afraid.
You have a, I know you for a few years, you have a good spirit of service. So keep it up, that's enough. Not everybody is meant for the same path. Some people are meant for reading a lot of books, consolidating this. Oh, but that book says this. Oh, this book says this. Must be this. They consolidate everything. They do research. They think. They figure out, and then they reach God. They may reach God. So that is some people's path. Some people, they are like, they just surrender. Oh, God is great. God is great. They just keep praising God. So that is Bhakti Yoga. The first one I mentioned is Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge. And the Bhakti Yoga is you praise God, and that is Bhakti Yoga. Now, some people, they just take charge. They are like, Raja Yoga is because Raja means king. They have so much pride in themselves, they take charge. They say, I must experience depth now. I must take Kundalini. They just force their awareness to rise above the body, and they experience the mystical realities of the universe. And the other path is work hard, basically serve. God is not somewhere there, or He's not in some idol, or He's not in this or that, or in a book, or in a symbol. He's just everywhere. He's in the people around you, the animals around you. So just serve them, take care of them. So that is a valid path too. All of them are valid paths. The only problem is, depending on the company that we keep, basically people, when they are pursuing spirituality, in the beginning they want to belong, basically. They want to create a community of people around them. They want to belong there, and they derive pride from that sense of belonging. So what happens is, anybody who is not conforming, they'll look down upon the person and say, oh, he sucks, he's not good enough. So the thing is, if you are in a group of people who don't really understand what you're doing, you want to be like them, but you're not able to. They are in a particular path, maybe that's not the path for you. So that can create some discomfort in the beginning. But the thing is, you shouldn't worry about all that. Just do whatever is natural to you. And then God, you never know in what form God comes to you, how God comes to you. Yeah, but don't worry about anything, just keep doing whatever you are doing. And my strong feeling is, in 2016 you will have some mystical experiences. Any other questions, comments?
So for the pitta, I should not eat pickles and other things. Right?
For pitta, you should. Pickles are poison for you. I mean, no spicy food.
No coffee.
Not just pickle, even in curries, basically, if you put too much spice, it's really, really bad for you. The only spices that are good for you are, dhania is the best for you. Coriander seeds, also coriander greens, the cilantro. You should put as much cilantro as possible in all your food. Cilantro, mint is good.
Heat, because of heat, I got constipation and
piles, these are all standard. Acidity, gas from acidity, these are all possibilities based on this. Also the thing is, all the heat will rise up and it will reach the head, and it will cause a lot of tensions, a lot of anxiety, frustration, short temper, etc. So avoid all heat producing foods. Don't eat any spice. The only spices that are good are cumin seeds. Fennel seeds are awesome for you. Fennel seed, cumin seed, coriander seeds, and then in moderation, cardamom, cinnamon, those are okay. But the thing is, hot spices, like things that are really hot. See, cardamom is warming. Cardamom, cinnamon, these are warming. They are not really heating. Whereas this is really heating. Red chili, green chili, black pepper. You should stay away from those. Red chilies, green chilies, and black pepper. And the other thing is, lot of buttermilk. Buttermilk is really like, it is amrita basically. Amritam for you. You must drink a lot of buttermilk after every meal. And the other thing is, eat your meals. Don't eat snacks. People eat every couple of hours, they just munch on some food. The problem is, for strong pitta people, what happens is, their system has strong acids. So digestive juices are produced in mass. So even if you eat a little bit of food, a lot of digestive juice is produced. And if you don't eat enough food to use the digestive juice, that itself causes problem in the stomach ache, acidity, all these things, gas, that ferments and becomes gas, that acid. So you need to, when you are eating, you should eat enough food. So eat big meals, don't eat small meals. Whereas Vata people, their digestive juices are very little because they have very dry bodies. Their bodies are very dry and emaciated, so they don't have lot of digestive juices, lot of enzymes. Only little bit is produced. So if you dump too much food on it, food doesn't get digested properly. So all the undigested food becomes poison, and then they don't feel hunger for. Their hunger is basically on and off. One day they are very hungry, for a few days they are not hungry. It's basically very problematic. So what they should do is just eat a little, and then 2 hours later some more digestive juice will be produced. Eat a little more. So they should have like 5 or 6 really small meals. Vata people. But people like you, if they do that, each time, even if you have 6 times, each time body produces this much acid. And if you are not using it, so you have a problem. So you should eat big meals and few times basically.
And for a Vata person, eating spices is good, sir.
For Vata, the thing with spices is, Vata people, because their enzymes are low, they need some spice to trigger them. But the problem is, some of the spices are drying. If you eat too much chili powder, see, if you eat just a half spoon of red chili powder, all the lining in the stomach lining, that basically gets wiped out. It basically takes another 24 hours for it to come back. More so for a Vata person, because by nature they are dry. Their lining on the stomach is very thin. So it gets wiped out very fast if you eat really spicy food. So for Vata people, some spice in moderation is good, but not too much spice. So little bit of red chili powder is fine, but don't put too much. But the thing is, put things like cardamom, cinnamon, cumin, fennel. Those are the spices that are better. But the thing is, things like black pepper, red pepper should be in moderation. Whereas for Kapha people who are fat and who have lot of moist bodies, their bodies have lot of water in them, they accumulate all the solid and liquid material. So for them, if you look at their stomach, it will be lined with really thick layer of mucus. That is why they don't feel hungry very easily. So for them, you have to throw a lot of red chili, green chili, black pepper. You have to put that ginger. You have to put those heavily so that all the lining basically, otherwise all the food basically becomes mucus. It just keeps adding mucus to the stomach lining, intestine lining, colon, everywhere basically they have a lot of mucus. And also they tend to have a lot of phlegm also. Basically it overflows everywhere in the body. So for them, eating a lot of ginger, a lot of pepper. In the morning, you can basically take some ginger, some pepper with honey in the morning. Or before every meal, just half hour before the meal, take some ginger. Just chew some raw ginger. So things like that will be helpful. Actually, there is a medicine called Trikatu, which is basically thrice. Trikatu can be translated as thrice heart. It is basically a combination of ginger, black pepper, and something called pipali. It's basically Indian long pepper. It looks like black pepper. It has long grains like this, and it used to be popular in the old days, but nowadays people don't use it except in Ayurveda. Earlier it used to be used in spices, not just in India, even in Europe, for example, Italy. These people, Greek and Italians, they used to get that pipali from India long back until they discovered green chilies. It smells like green chili actually, though it tastes like, it's a combination of black pepper and green chili, but it looks black. So there is something known as pipali. So pipali, black pepper and ginger. So basically take them in equal proportions and then take it with either water or honey. So there is a paste made of it, that and honey. So that is supposed to be the digestive help for those people. Another thing is for Vata people, hing is good. Asafoetida. You know hing, right? Asafoetida. So that is really good for Vata people. And jeera is awesome. Cumin seeds. Cumin seeds, especially with salt. See, if there is too much kapha accumulated in the body, ginger is good for all the 3 gunas in moderation. Ginger is one of the, because it's not too spicy, but at the same time it's liquidy. Unlike black pepper, green chilies, right? They are drying. Ginger is not that drying. It dries and also it has some moisture in it. So it has basically mixture properties. It's a very good help. The key is, if you take ginger with honey, it works in the upper part. Basically it helps with kapha, with phlegm. If you take ginger with rock sugar, or sugar basically, or jaggery. If you take it with that, it works here and it eliminates the pitta. If you take ginger with salt, people normally take, instead of taking dry ginger, wet ginger with salt, grated ginger you can do, people take dry ginger. You have dry ginger called shunt in India. Telugu we call it shuntipadi, in Hindi we call it shunt, and in English it's called dry ginger. So dried ginger powder. They mix that with salt and put some ghee in it, and then they mix it with rice and take it as the first bite that you eat. That's supposed to provoke the hunger.
I do it sometimes with coffee.
Tommy?
I put ginger with coffee.
Yeah, you can do that. It's a very powerful antioxidant and stimulant for the digestion. So, if you take with salt, ginger with salt relieves the vata. It relieves the gas and vata. Ginger with sugar and jaggery or rock candy, it relieves the pitta, and ginger with honey relieves the kapha. So, ginger is very, very powerful. The thing is, for you, ginger, black pepper, green pepper should be in moderation, but take a lot of buttermilk. That will really make a difference. And one more thing is, there is a herb called shatavari. It is really good for you. And bhrangaraj. Shatavari and bhrangaraj.
Bhrangaraj is used for Thailand.
Yeah, bhrangaraj Thailam is used for getting more hair, but the thing is, it's not just hair. Bhrangaraj, the thing is, it reverses the aging process. When there is too much fire in the body, aging process works faster. It basically slows it down. It cools, bhrangaraj cools the body, it decreases the fire, and slows the aging process. And it basically rejuvenates the body. So, if you can take bhrangaraj and shatavari, you can get them at banjanbotanicals.com. You can get raw powders basically. So, if you take like half spoon of shatavari, half spoon of bhrangaraj, make a tea of it in a cup of water. Basically, heat it in a cup of water. The ideal way is actually take cup and half of water, 1.5 cups of water, put this 1 spoon there, boil it, so that until its volume comes down to 1 cup, from 1.5 cup. Then filter it and then drink it. Let it cool and then drink it. So if you do that, if you don't have enough time for it, what you can do is take 1 cup of boiling water, put 1 spoon of shatavari and bhrangaraj, half spoon, let it stand for a couple of hours or an hour, then basically filter and drink it. Shatavari is basically the root of asparagus. But the asparagus is very good for you. The vegetable, asparagus. You don't know it? It's very popular in US. They don't use it that much in India. Green one.
We have something we have something in Morocco. If you are sick,
Yeah.
they mix all the like